everybody. We've got another episode of the Digi Dojo back with everybody here, our usual hosts, Ben. We've got Jarrell, TJ, and RB. It's been a while since our last episode, so we apologize for that with life and just crazy schedules all around and the end of the summer. We just got wrapped up with a lot of things, but we're back in full force. We've got a lot of things to talk about today. So hopefully this is a good episode for y'all. For those who don't know us, we are Hyper Coliseum. We are a group of friends based in the suburbs of Chicago, just getting together, sharing our love and passion for everything Digimon TCG. So usually on these episodes, we try to talk about, recent tournaments, tops, deck building, set leaks of the upcoming set, and, everything in between. So without further ado, let us jump into it. So I think the first topic we wanted to talk about today was the recent set of Ultimate Cups and the Latin American regionals that happened this past week or so. We had our first set of Ultimate Cups with Carta Magica, and then Latin America had their most recent regionals. So I think we can just talk about regionals first, since that's sort of like a quick one of, and sort of it's a pretty easy topic because of the representation that was seen in the top 16. So overwhelming amount of Shine Greymon. Overwhelming.
Almost 75% representation.
What do you guys think?
What were the decks that weren't Shine Gray for time?
It's like one of each.
Yeah,
One
so I think out of the...
one Black War Gray, one Hunter, one Blue Flare, one Red Hybrid.
So I look at this and then I scrolled down. I literally scrolled down to event details and I saw 57 players. I'm like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
I think was this an in-person one? No, it was online.
It was online, yeah.
I don't know how many people usually sign up for LATAM regionals. So I don't know if they have a very heavy regional scene or not. I'm not too sure. It makes sense though. It tracks. So yeah, it's 11 Shine Gray decks, and then the 5 of the decks were Red Hybrid, Blue Flare, Hunters, Black War Gray, and Dorbic.
Yeah, basically.
We'll see Dorbic still doing stuff. That's pretty awesome. I'm excited to see what Dorbic does with some of the upcoming support that it's gonna sort of pseudo get.
Yeah.
What does that first place list look like? Do we have it? Let's see.
I think it's also kind of interesting too, because in the past, Latin America, I feel like, has been the source of the spicy wonkiness.
Yeah.
Where you have random stuff just popping out of nowhere, and this was very predominantly just meta.
This was very much, we all played the tier 1 deck of the format.
Yeah. I don't know what that says about Shine, but...
First place list is running the yellow Koromons and then 2 of the yellow Shine Grays.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking at it right now. 222 for his top end for each of the Shine Grays that we have.
The one pillow.
The yellow ones.
The one Pillowmon.
The one.
Yeah, the one pillow is funny. I wonder if that actually came up.
I don't see it.
It's got 2 Raspberry X in there. Makes sense.
I don't see it coming up against any of the other topping lists. Maybe throughout the tournament.
Yeah. I guess maybe Blue Flare.
Maybe.
And sort of Red Hybrid. Depending on what's out at the...
I feel like you don't want to leave it there against Blue Flare either. You don't want to leave it sitting out there, because then when you're raising your stack, it's just spare.
Yeah, that's true. It does become a second Digimon, and you don't want you don't want one.
The 2 of the BT2 Shine Gray is interesting, and they're only running 2 of the BT12 ones. That's neat. I mean, admittedly, if you do everything right, you only need the 1 stack usually. Yeah. But for consistency's sake, it's crazy that that all worked out.
Yeah, having that 1 stack really does help you as a Shine Gray.
Yeah.
Unless you do like Jeremy did was it last Thursday and Agu rushed. He's Agu Marcus rushed. Man, shout out Jeremy. Yeah, it's a pretty standard list otherwise though. Just a couple of tech choices, a few things that are just pretty standard.
Surprised he's running Shining Burst over Sunrise Buster.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at a ground level, it does a higher DP neg base. So I can see the reasoning for it. and it does spit out a Marcus either way.
Yeah, and usually, depending on which Marcus you get, that's gonna be like 15 at minimum as well. So
Yeah. The only thing, I'll, honestly, after so much play of Shine Grave myself, the only thing I'm just like I would probably not run is the yellow memory boosts.
Yeah.
The boosts just feel so bad when you bottom deck a Marcus.
Yeah.
It hurts.
I think Latin America in general, like most of these lists, were running the yellow base more. So I feel like here, a lot of us were running more the red for the draw.
I use yellow base personally.
Yeah, I like the yellow a lot better. I like the yellow.
That 1K that makes
Sometimes
it can
comes
make
up a
all
lot.
the difference. It can make all the difference. It has made the difference more than enough times because the fact that too, like, just off that 1K alone, when your BT13 Marcus plays out and negs the 3 and suspends itself, gains you the memory. If you have a stack out there that has that, you're negging at least 4 off of that, which is gonna pop a lot of level 4s in the game right now. That pops like all the punchers and crosshearts level 4s. It can definitely be enough DP to just bring them down low enough for you to clear with something else. It definitely helps.
The rest of the list looked pretty standard though. Outside of the top deck that was running the BT2 Shangri, like you said, everybody else is pretty standard.
Pretty. Yeah. A lot of 3-2-1s, which is the one I see the most.
The 6th place list is running the BT4 yellow Koro.
The one.
Yeah, that's a one of.
Go.
That's crazy. You know, some Agu X in there. Yeah, just a lot of different variations of just builds that work for it. So, makes sense. But yeah, it is. I mean, I was thinking about something the other day too. I think it was on East's video. You know, the guy that does a lot of the Japanese meta reports. I think he uploads every like Sunday or Monday every like 2 weeks or so. I'm not too sure.
I think he had one like recently this week too.
Yeah,
right?
I think he does it like every Monday because I think I usually watch it in the morning at work. Anyways, he Shine Gray had top 10 plus events last week in Japan. So it was more than any other deck. So
yeah,
Shine is still performing extremely well, even in the BT14 meta, even in EX5. This was with EX5.
This was the first. Yeah.
So I will say, as much as it hurts me to say, I mean, everyone should know this by now. I think we all already assumed it was going to happen. I had some hopium that maybe that it would fall off with BT14 and stuff would be good enough, but Shine is definitely performing well enough still into future sets that it is most likely going to see a ban. So my guess, honestly, is that we will probably see a list come out sometime in October.
I think that is when their next BTG presentation. Well, the next like Bandai presentation as a whole.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's when we get our next that's when we see Shine get hit.
What do you think is gonna get hit, Marcus?
Knowing Bandai, they'll probably just hit BT12 Marcus and call it a day, and then let the deck die until we get another Marcus in future sets. If they hit that Marcus, the deck's just dead. The deck doesn't do anything anymore.
Well, I mean that's what it is for Ultimate Cup, right?
Yeah.
Set to 1.
Which I mean,
You mean Mirage Cup?
If we look at Ultimate Cup results, Shine isn't even played. It didn't even break top 16 for the card
Not
magic.
Not played yet.
Yeah.
I'm playing in the 1 and 2 week.
You're gonna play Shine and the Ultimate Cup?
Shine with the red mark.
You're not. There's no such thing as him because he doesn't exist.
Shine with only BT2 Shine Gray.
Ben gonna submit the red Marcus with yellow eggs.
Like ideally, they haven't hit an SR yet, really. Not that I can think of. Have they hit an SR?
From a band
I don't
list?
believe so, no.
For a band?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they've hit an
Or
SR.
already was the promo word guru.
It's just promo, it's P.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess.
So the limit promos, the limit rares and lower, but they haven't hit an SR, I don't think. Nothing comes to
Not
mind.
that I can remember, no.
So if they hit something, ideally, I wish they just hit burst mode. If they hit Shangri Burst Mode to 1, the deck slows down enough because that's your OTK combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would put the deck reined in enough. Because I did some more thinking about this recently too. Because initially I thought like maybe just hitting one of the Shine Grays, and then I was like, well, the deck then is still pretty dead usually most of the time. So if they hit a burst mode, it makes it so that you need to really set up for that one combo, where it's almost like Alpha, right? Where like Alpha wants to set up for that one combo it can make with the Doru Gray that gives Sec +1. Right. Otherwise, the deck doesn't have enough aggression to do stuff most of the time. Shangri would still have enough pieces to be playable. It would just lose its speed because it would have to just look for that one card to really just be able to go in for the OTK. Otherwise, it's going to just take a lot more chip in order to actually secure wins.
At the same time, I think they might just have to hit that Marcus for future proofing, because I don't think they wanted the free Digivolve.
They wanted it. I think they did it intentionally to sell up that tag card, and then they're like, okay, it has time, and we're gonna move over. It's Bandai.
But they probably don't want it for like future sets to have a free Digivolve. Like it's really powerful.
It really just comes down to there just still not being enough tamer interaction. There's a lot now, but there's still not enough to like kneecap Shine Gray of that Marcus. So yeah, it's probably what's going to get hit realistically, and unfortunately.
I think burst mode's an interesting one. I haven't thought about that before, but hitting burst mode, like you said,
it would be a more balanced. It would be a more balanced hit, but they're not gonna do it. But yeah, it is what it is. So moving back to. We got some of the topics. So it's just something to keep in mind for Shine Gray players out there. Get your Shine Gray reps in now if you really want to play the deck. If you're somebody who's trying to build the deck right now, I wouldn't bother. I would just play other stuff, mess around with other stuff. It's not worth spending the money on because you're going to only be able to... It's going to be dead in the water as soon as they hit the Marcus in that.
Watch a plot twist happen. They hit the BT13 Augu instead. Out of nowhere.
That'd be wild. That'd be so funny. That'd be so funny. I wouldn't even be mad at that, to be honest with you. That's fine. But yeah, it seems like Latin America very much they had their things. It does make sense to me looking at the list that Red Hybrid was the next top deck there, because after playing against Aaron's Red Hybrid list with Shine Gray, it's scary. Red Hybrid is still fast.
Yeah,
it is so fast.
Do you see this one also had Lightning Just in it too?
Did it really? I didn't even look at the list
Yeah, atomic, what is it?
4 Atomic Inferno,
and then Lightning Just.
That guy was just full. I love it, dude. It makes sense though, yeah. I mean, like, it just Red Hybrid can just do so much damage so quickly. Yeah. I mean, Lightning Just gives DP too, right? So
yeah,
it can proc. It can help you proc those Tamer inheritables.
Yeah, the DP is the guaranteed effect, and then if you have fewer,
get secure attack +1, so you can just stack that stuff.
Yeah.
Whew.
I mean, it's fast. It's low to the ground. The recursion, I think, is crazy too, where you can just keep spitting stuff out and not lose tempo.
Tamers, so you can't really slow it down that much. And if you chip security without like taking them out on that turn, sometimes you just set them up to have game next turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Check enough Takatos out of there, or not Takatos, Takuyas.
I'm surprised that they're not running Boko though. I mean, I get it now. I mean,
a lot of people are back.
A lot of people. Oh yeah.
Boko is definitely much more of an NA thing, I think. Because I feel like even Japan lists didn't really run Boko too much. Almost everywhere else in the world doesn't really want to run Boko. But here in Murica land, we like our memory conservation.
I'm just always scarred by the brick. It's like if I don't see what I need, it just feels bad.
I agree with you. Yeah. But something else to keep in mind too, because it was only 57 players, it was only 5 rounds, so it wasn't the longest. Regional either. Let's see those other lists. The Blue Flare list.
Pretty standard,
yeah. Not too much to say there. I get so nervous when I see people run the Sec +1 Greymon now though, because Metal Gray works.
Hunter is also just very standard.
The rest of the lists are pretty standard. Looks like the Dorbic list.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Dorbic. Some neat little tech choices in there, but that's Dorvic otherwise.
Yeah, and same with Black or Gray Toolbox. It's a very like standard toolbox deck.
Yep. All right. We want to move on to the
Let's move on to, or as Pharrell called it, the Mirage Cup.
Mirage Cup. The cup where 4 Mirage Galgamon decks topped. They were the top 4.
Oceania.
Sorry, not Oceania one.
We go from one Savers Pro Tag.
Which, I guess, on the topic of Mirage, right? Like, you know, I think a lot of people before BT13 came out, they were very hyped on Mirage, right?
Yeah.
As probably top deck, if not like competing with Shine Gray for top deck in the format.
Mm-hmm.
And I think arguably it kind of disappointed a lot of people in terms of like early regional results, right? I think we started to see people play it more as they've, I think, maybe like teched the deck out a little bit. But I just find it curious that like people are waiting until Ultimate Cup, because like the list you run for Ultimate Cup is pretty much what you would run in like a regional, right?
It doesn't change anything really. The biggest thing that helps, I mean, the fact that the whole deck is blue, it doesn't have to run any other color cards.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to wear any weird like just sort of spice in there. It can just do its thing and do it well. Oceania is known for having usually some weird tops as well. Like we had like a lot of machine tops that happen there and other stuff. There's a lot. They have a very different way they play over there, which is cool. It's cool to see. I mean, honestly, I just feel like the Ultimate Cup environment does. I feel like Bandai very much so. I saw some stuff on Facebook groups today. Oof. Which is basically was along the lines of like, oh, Bandai just doesn't use Ulti Cup to test out bans. They just do it to give players a different format. And I'm just like, you are coping so hard, my friend.
Yeah.
That is Bandai absolutely uses Ulti Cup as a means to test out ban lists now.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard.
We literally already saw those bans that they had implemented in Ulti Cup specifically come to standard.
Yeah.
And we've seen in that ban list right now, right? The what's the differences from the normal list right now? It's the Hydromondo one still. There's the
Marcus, BT12 Marcus to 1.
BT12 Marcus to 1.
Is Chaos Degrade still on that list?
Chaos Degrade is at 1 as well.
Yeah.
There's 2 other things, but I can't remember them right now off the top of my head.
They took the wear X off.
Because yes, they did.
Yeah.
Well, because they got rid of the real problem card, which is the promo. But yeah, so I honestly, just looking at that, I think it's safe to say like we know that they're looking at banning
Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus. Sorry, my brain just stopped working for a second. So yeah, it's just a matter of time really at this rate with the deck continuing to perform how it is. And like if you look at I can't see the full one for Oceania, but like going off of Ulti Cups in general, if you look at like the Cartomagica one, for example, and you see that top 16, it's very heavily. It's a lot of different lists up there. Do we have the full thing for Oceania anywhere? Did anyone find it?
I could not find it. I know the top 4 is on there, like Twitter or X.
Yeah, which is just the Mirage list, which are all just different, very workable variations of Mirage, which they're good lists. None of them. There's not a single bad list up there. There's nothing that's like a weird spicy choice. They're all just like, yeah, you can run it this way and it'll work.
Yeah, it's a solid deck. It's just when you don't include Ulti Cup rules, its biggest problem is checking big things in security. Yeah. And Royal Knights hurts a lot. It hurts that deck a lot.
Yeah.
You have to use a burst mode play if you're going to check security at all. Yep. Or have enough DP boosts.
Yeah, in a lot of different ways too. It's painful.
The other thing that is kind of crazy to me with it that I was thinking about is there's no arrow features up there, which is something we've seen, I think, a lot of people in NA experimenting with.
Yeah.
During the Aero Vidramon instead of like and then like Aero Vidramon and then EX4 Mach-Gao.
Yeah,
There's all the lists there are just pure Gao. Oh no, actually no, I lied. The 4th place list right now, Vidra. Well, that's not a good sign for us. But yeah, man, it was a Mirage Gao fest there. A lot of Madoki betas too for memory choke, which makes sense against the mirror.
The mirror, yeah.
This guy's just running 4 Madoki. He just cut out one of the Gagumons entirely. That's crazy. Yeah. If anyone's interested in what we're looking at too, I don't know if we're gonna have it pulled up at all or we'll have links, but you can just look at the official Digimon card game English or English version on Twitter. I'm never gonna call it X. I don't care what they say. You see they changed it to reposting now. It's not retweeting.
Yeah.
I'm physically angry.
This is now
Elon, bruh, chill.
So now,
but
.com anger podcast.
Anger.
Yeah,
we're in the dojo. Let it out.
But yeah, so that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we want to go over Carta Magico real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
All right.
Red Hybrid.
So top
Red
4
Hybrid.
list.
Top 4 is varied. It's a different deck.
We had there is actually so it's like a pseudo. I mean, it's a yellow hybrid list, really.
Yeah.
The yellow hybrid list made it up there with some shine stuff in there. I mean, Red Hybrid got first, which makes sense. Red Hybrid's still a perfectly competitive deck. It does very well.
Mm-hmm.
Second place was Mirage, which was running Aero Vidras.
Yep.
So there's that NA influence. Third place we had the yellow hybrid deck, which is such a weird list.
Yeah.
But I can see how it would work, but I mean, like running, what was it? It was 12 tamer. How many? 4, 7, 10, 14 tamers. Jesus. Shwee. That's a lot. That's a lot. The Bushiagu.
That's a lot, and there's only one way to recover with Venus, or not Venus, sorry, Jet Sylphie. Like, and then I guess Ruin mode too, if you can get into it. But
I mean, admittedly, it's the same sort of concept as like that's how we just our Kentaros thing, right? We don't need to really recover as much as we just need Venus to hit the board for once, and then just keep applying Sec minus somehow to stall. But my guess is it ended up doing very much what Yellow Hybrid does, where basically you just sit there and kind of build up your tamers, and then your opponent tries to kill you, and if they don't OTK you, you just next turn have 10 memory, and then all of a sudden they're just dead.
Yeah. Because you've got 4 TKs, you've got Cody, which will probably gain you a memory. Taikari gains you probably at least 1, if not 2. TK Kari gives you,
it's so much memory gain in that list. Jeez. And it's all just from letting your opponent do their thing. And then the second you have a yellow Digimon on board and you have less security than them, you're going to just shoot up.
Yeah.
Less options than I would expect. For only 1 Lonky and 1 Sunrise are their only real offensive options, which is crazy. But yeah, that's pretty good. And then 4th place list was Bloom. Which
pretty standard Bloom.
Yeah.
Instead of like the Rose. Oh, well, I mean, with Hydra to 1, I guess Rose is your next best thing.
Yeah, Rose is a good fill in there for just suspending a board, keeping some aggression. And I mean, Bloom right now, Bloom's still good. All the plant support, like realistically, Bloom got more support out of Rosemon's stuff than Rosemon got.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we do see a day where Bloom Lord does get hit. Just because so long as he exists, anytime they put out any sort of plants, it's hard to make a better card than him.
Yeah.
It is hard to make a better or comparable card to what he does for just green plant veggie fairy decks.
Fairy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that Rosemon wants to do, he basically just does himself.
Yeah. And the whole thing with how they designed it too is that they made everything look for the cards with those traits instead of cards with the names, like we have with like Agu and Gabu support, where it doesn't look for like dinosaur cards or beast cards. It looks for those cards with at least a name. So because it ignores that and just focuses on the trait, it makes it so much more toolboxy, which is cool. But it does suck that there's no other green decks that even have it. But the other thing too is they also just aren't designing other good green cards to try and use.
Yeah.
It doesn't really. There's no other real green deck that's worth using outside of Bloom if you want to play green right now.
So there isn't another SR that does something similar or like even at the same power level.
Yeah, there's nothing comparable.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure if Rose had something where at least whatever the power level is, it's the same where it does 2 checks or has piercing.
Yeah. And the problem for Rose is that, well, the thing with Bloom that makes it so good too is that it doesn't worry about your opponent's board. It relies on its own, because a lot of other green decks are like, I want you to have Digimon on board. I want to have stuff I want you to have stuff for me to suspend, or I want you to have stuff for me to swing through, or something like that. And Bloom's just like, haha, me Digivolve, board go burr.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, there's fucking seedlings sprouting all over the fucking playmat. And you have a Bloom that comes out and gains you memory off of HPD, and then swings for like 3 checks at 16 KDP, and you just cry. and then your opponent has no board after that, and then they have to figure out how to remove 7 bodies in one turn.
Yeah.
So,
then you Digivolve Quartzmon and leave them at 1.
True. Yeah. But yeah, it's yeah, I guess I don't want to see Blue get hit. I just want them to come out with something that's like comparable for green, so the green has other options.
Yeah.
Like Yellow's starting to make a little bit of a comeback, kind of. Like Kentaros has been doing okay. Venus is still a great card. Shine is yellow-red, so it can count for both. But it definitely feels like the game has been playing with really only 4 colors for a while now. Where it's really just been blue, red, purple, and black that have been doing well for the past like 2 sets, I'd say.
Well, I mean, you've got Leopardmon X Antibody coming, right? In EX5.
True. That's true. We have all the Leo support and everything, which did do well in JP the past week during EX5's release. Heavy Loader Leo.
Yeah.
Heavy Leo, whatever, not Heavy Loader. Sorry, Heavy Leo was doing some work, which is cool. That's good. I want us to see Leomon decks because Leomon's cool. He's very pog.
And I mean EX5 in general, right? We've got a lot of recent stuff that's been pretty good.
Yeah,
that's been
the green tech to use Leopardmon to play out a cheap level 5 that also plays another level 5.
Doing the diva focused Leopard.
Yeah.
We are going to see some good green stuff, I think, in EX5.
Cracked.
Hopefully Yellow sees some. Oh no, Yellow's actually doing pretty good.
Yellow's
stuff.
Yeah.
With BT14. Yeah. So I guess the other colors are making their comebacks. They're just right now with where we're at the moment. It's very much like, no, you either play like some sort of Venus hybrid stuff, or if you want to play Yellow, or you play Bloom if you want to play green.
Yeah.
So, but we do have more things coming up, which is cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that wraps up pretty much what we wanted to talk about regionals wise, Alti Cup wise. I think it'll be interesting to see towards the end of the month, like how the rest of the Ultimate Cups play out now that we've kind of seen the first wave. I think there's one, third week of September, and then another one on September 30th. So a little bit of time in between, but I think it'll be interesting to see what actually plays out. Which, I mean, speaking of which, the end of September, we're coming on to RB1 as well in terms of the release there. Which, for those who don't know, RB1, or Rising or Resurgence Booster, is going to be a set that focuses on Ghost games. So a lot of the new anime characters and Digimon Pro tags are going to be there. So a lot of Gamamon support, Jellymon support, both which are going to be pretty good decks, mind you. But it is a smaller set within a bigger booster that has a lot of reprints of staple cards that we're going to be seeing.
This man just left Angora. That's crazy.
Yeah, just left who performs better than Jelly.
Is it because he's fat? Is it because he's fat?
It's because he's a blue player. Look at him wearing his blue shirt. Thinking about what he's gonna do. Disgusting. No, yeah. And also, let's not forget this. We start to see the Nume poop. The Nume poop enters into the fray.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it's going to be anything consistent or good enough until we get some of that new stuff in BT15, which we could talk about later. But yeah. The reprint set. Oh, sorry. Whenever you say RB, I just look at RB. I just RB1.
It's my set.
RB1.
Yeah,
no,
I
RB
think-
lost.
Oh no.
I like this.
No, I don't think Amphi actually. I don't think Jelly Amphi did anything in JP. Does anyone know? I don't think she ever topped anything.
I
don't think so. At least,
I know
maybe-
Direbit did okay.
Yeah.
Because he has pseudo blitz, so it makes sense. I mean, that's when you just have that aggression, it helps. Gamma did pretty okay though.
Yeah.
Gamma did pretty good. The Sirius we get is a good card. Proximamon's fucking cool. We get Arcturus and Regulus as well. Like Gamma has had enough support trickled in through promos and other stuff.
Yeah. Still not.
that-
I still don't think it's like enough, but you know.
Yeah.
I think it's not so much that it isn't enough. I think it's just that the play style for it is it's a challenging play style. Like it's cool. It's very cool in theory, but I think it puts Bandai in a position where they can't risk giving anything too strong to any of the lower end. So they just make these very generic level 4s that just have like a keyword and then call it a day. And then don't have any inheritables. So then really you just get a level 6 that has to rely off its own effects and then has a bunch of keywords, which can be strong. But nowadays, the most powerful things are when digivolving or when attacking effects most of the time that like control board or do something else.
Just play Dorbic with Gammamon cards underneath.
Yeah, pretty much. I think we'll probably see Gamma do some stuff here though. I think people are excited for it. Proxima is a cool card. There is some neat stuff that it can do in general.
Yeah.
I think it's a good start for it, right? Like I don't think they want to make it too strong right away either. Like you said, it's just a good start because before this, it was kind of poopy. You really couldn't play Gamma.
I mean, you can't.
You really
have level
can't.
6. We just had Cano Weiss and prayed for something to use it well. Well, the other big thing too is we have a searcher now. Gamma didn't have a searcher. So consistency was hard. So now we have that Gammamon that on play feels top 3. Add 1 card with Gammamon and its text and 1 hero Monokawa to your hand. Place rest at bottom. I don't know. Personally, I'm very excited for Direbit. I'm excited to mess around with Direbit or Angora stuff. That's the thing I'm looking forward to the most at the moment. I want to say I'm looking forward towards Shinmonze and all the Numa support because I like my poop stuff, but that's not really going to be a thing until later. So
I wonder for the reprints in this set, because a big part of the set is a reprint for people that don't have a lot of the older cards, like Magna Andromon. What else? Lilithmon.
yes.
I think anything else that's like
Just
the red stuff.
so many key cards that are from
red
1 through
red
5 that were so important are still super important for decks nowadays that it's just harder to find because those sets are harder to find or they're super expensive online. People know that. This is really it's gonna be interesting how it affects the market.
Bro, just own the cards already.
True.
Yeah, just
I agree though with the market stuff, right? Because I mean we're already seeing it right now with a lot of cards just being tanked in price. Like BT1 tie used to be like a standard $20 card, and it's down to $4-ish now, like $4 or $5, I think. Whereas some cards also like they know you're not getting reprinted, and people have just bought them out, and now their prices are going through the roof. So it's really affected it in both ways. So
I think more than anything, it's healthy for the game.
100%.
Yeah. Well,
It's healthy for new players to come in for it. It's healthy for just the price of the market for people to just find these cards. It will definitely help out. I could think of just a couple people that are at our own shop that we play with that could there's definitely older cards that they wanted or were looking for that like this is going to be good for them, so they'll be able to try different decks.
BT12 Reno. When-
One day Jeremy will be able to play the deck. One day. You mean BT11 Reno?
RB2.
Yeah, BT11.
RB2 comes out.
Something to say as well for all of this, just so people, just in case, as like a little disclaimer so people know, Blinding Ray is in the reprint. It's not in the listing. In case people haven't seen like the posts on Twitter or Facebook, Bandai did a poopy doo-doo, and they didn't have it in the proper listing. So one of us, I'm not gonna name names, decided to buy a bunch of Blinding Rays before they shot up in stonks, worried that they weren't going to be available.
So I thought I ordered
other
8.
Kentaro stuff coming out.
I did not order 8.
How many?
I ordered 18.
There's no fucking.
Oh no!
I think one shop at 8. I ordered 8. I was like, fuck it. They're like 98 cents. I'll order 8. And I was like, okay, we're just gonna go down the line. And I look at cart 18. I was like, okay.
Now there's gonna be all those nice foil ones. They're gonna be in the market now. I mean, to be fair, the gold texturing and bordering is pretty cool still.
You don't have to make me feel better.
I really wish it was on like on some of the foils that we have now, like they did for the English version of the Wergaruru. Yeah, the ace card.
Yeah.
The Melga and the Wargray.
I think it looks gorgeous.
It looks cool with the foil. I think by itself it's a little jarring.
Yeah.
I know when I first saw it, I was like, this looks like an old card.
Yeah.
It just looks dated already, but it's fresh out the pack. But it was a cool thing. But yeah, so Blinding Ray is in there. So for people that are Kentaro stans, that are looking forward to like some of the support it's getting with EX5 and everything like that, I think it'll definitely be something to be on the radar for sure. It's something that will be available.
Yeah.
Be able to get them then. What about you guys? What are your guys' most anticipated things for RBO1? Just out of the new cards, what do you guys? If anything.
Yeah, just Gamma stuff.
Yeah, same Gamma stuff probably in the jelly.
There's like a small amount of reprints that I'll probably pick up. Like I know people are probably gonna try to pick up like the Kaiser Nails and the Cocytus Breaths.
Yeah. Well, the Kaiser Nails are NA exclusives, right? So that's something that Japan didn't have, I don't think, in their reprints.
Right. Correct.
Which is going to be interesting for us to see, which is cool considering how Bandai initially wanted to do the reprints, it was just going to be the new cards, and there wasn't going to be any reprints. And it's like, well, then it's not a reprint set.
Nobody would have. I guarantee you, nobody would have bought that booster box.
No, because like it's like
it would have just been like
I think like admittedly for you and me, Arby, like for who like we have like a full playset of older cards for most of them.
Yeah.
We don't really need the reprints as much. They're cool, but we have most of the stuff we need from then.
Yeah.
Like I think I think players that already have everything, they're like, oh cool, I can just focus on getting the new cards, but it's just terrible. It's not good. It's not healthy for the game.
No.
It needs reprints.
Every game needs reprints.
Yes.
Like, just locking potential customers out of playing the game because cards, like one card costs $30 and it does the same thing as another card that's like 20 cents is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say though, I think the accessibility is good. I'm just curious to see how Bandai is gonna handle the ratios and how easy it is to pull certain reprints.
That's true. Does it just?
Because I mean, there's a very good, yeah, exactly. Like there's a very good chance that we get, per pack, maybe a more heavy ghost game ratio, and we're just flooded with a shit ton of these like ghost game cards
and stuff, and not very many reprint cards.
Right. Yeah. Or the opposite of where like you're getting a ton of like
reprints
of like one certain type, right? But then like things like Magna Anja, right, which is like pretty sought after, probably one of the higher sought after reprints. It's like very, very rare.
And something for everyone to keep in mind too, every card in this set is foil.
Yeah.
All cards in this set are foil. I don't know if the SRs have their regular SR foiling. I think they do.
If it's
and then
anything like Japan's, the SRs are gonna have like the starter deck SR textures. So it's gonna have like that brushed metal look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's hoping. Here's hoping.
Yeah.
Hoping that they're that kind to us.
Yeah, because I picked up a couple packs of RB while I was in the Philippines. So.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the info.
So get your Magna Angemon alt arts now.
It's also cool that we're gonna get that promo Agu reprinted, which people always want for Greymon decks. We're getting that Greymon that's good for Agu Bond reprinted. The art also for those is really good. I know some people ran Hover SB and Machine, so that'll be cool to see how that functions there.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
that black Gatomon Uber. That'll be cool to see too.
I lied completely. These don't have the texture.
Okay.
The Rise Greymon did, but I think the Rise Greymon originally had that texture. The red one?
Red
don't
Rise
remember.
Greymon?
Yeah, because I have it in my binder. Let me grab it real quick. Keep going.
Godspeed, soldier.
But yeah, I mean, I just think it's kind of something to keep an eye on, because sort of like you said too, right? I don't think a lot of people are gonna go like crazy ham on buying this set. Like people who have play sets of what they need, they're not gonna be how we typically are, like buying cases or splitting cases, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So then if like the pull ratios are poor and like people aren't cracking product, then are the prices really going to change a whole lot? Is now a good time to buy into some of these cards because they are on the cheaper end? So just something to keep, close eye on.
Yeah, for sure. I think we'll probably see a decent amount of product opened in the market. I think a lot of people are just gonna want the foil versions of those cards, like the Demi Mera in particular.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
love to foil out their decks. They love to bling them out. And I mean, even though technically like older versions might be higher rarity because they're harder to come by, the foil versions look nicer. So those will probably get picked up. I myself
do have those
I'm
gift
gonna probably
sets
just buy a
too, right?
box and then just see what you get out of a box ratio wise and go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have the gift sets. They're coming out.
I imagine that's probably what I'm gonna do, and then just buy the rest of the singles.
Yeah, that's my plan as well. Just buy everything else as singles for the decks that I want to build.
Okay, so it's weird. So, like I mentioned, the Jesmon and the Agumon both have the standard SR foiling where it's got like that rainbow shine. The Rise Gray has that starter deck texturing.
Interesting. The original card does not have.
Yeah, there's the original.
Yeah.
So like you can kind of see it in the
Oh,
camera.
I can see it. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see it. Yeah.
Um,
Weird.
but then this guy also has the starter deck texturing,
What the hell?
and
Okay.
he's
How
not.
could they do Agumon like that?
So I don't.
Get wrecked, I guess.
I don't know how they determine which cards get it, but if we end up getting the same as Japan, then some of them will.
I
have
wonder because I think every pack in Japan had like 2 SRs, right?
I wasn't paying attention to my polls.
I feel like I remember somebody opening the set and there's like 2 SRs in every pack. I wonder if like the card that's normally in that SR slot gets the texture foiling.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's going to be 1 card per pack, or not per pack, but like a certain number of cards in the box will have that texture foiling, and it can be any of the SRs. So you might just get some regular foil SRs, or you might get some texture foiled SRs.
Sort of like a better version of what the foiling in BT11 was.
Yeah, exactly. Which will be interesting to see what it does with the market. But yeah,
Interesting.
that's my guess. That's
a pretty good guess.
Way I could assume that they would do things. I don't think it would make sense many other ways. I'm also stupid, so.
No.
Yeah, that's my shot in the dark on why it's like that. It could also be like a weird thing where it's like that's how they do like secrets in the box. Oh no, there's a secret. Proxima's already a secret.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. No, I'm even more stupid. I forgot I've also bought packs of BT6, which is what those two came from.
Okay.
Don't listen to me. I'm dumb. Anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, those SRs will probably have the structure deck foiling if they're the same as Japan.
Okay.
I forgot I bought those BT6 packs to try to get a Japanese Ghost on me, which I know is way out of left field, but I mean,
It would have been crazy if you did it though.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't even post it in Discord. Just show back up at
Dude,
the
it
shop
was-
when you.
yeah, no,
Just be like, oh, hey guys, and just like wear it on your
Legit,
neck.
legit, like
You missed
small
100%
side story. When I was in the Philippines to like grab all the or like to just look at cards, those BT6 packs were like $2 a piece,
Yeah.
Oh,
which I was like, maybe I'll get a Ghost Omni. Why not? But yeah, so
Instant money back.
right?
Oh
Would
man,
have been so funny.
It'll be cool to see. I definitely. Oh man, yeah, just Arbit and Shinmon's for me are the big things. I think. Oh,
He's dying.
yeah, been
Rest
dying.
in peace. We're all dying. We're all dying. To play some Digimon.
Man, no, it's weird seeing some of these cards in like full foil, like the
Dark.
Demimera and the Koro.
Yeah.
Those actually look really nice, but the Terriermon, seeing all the tamers without like their gold foiling or like the gold trim was very interesting. But I don't know. Yeah, we'll see how prices are. Maybe people prefer the olders versus the newer ones, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough. Are there any cards that you feel like should have been reprinted but have not?
I don't
One
think so.
one card.
You have one.
You could pick one. No, I said if you could
I
pick
could
one
pick
card.
one.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have one, man. Honestly, I think they hit every card that they hit for a reprint. I was like, yep.
Out of like
Yeah.
those early sets, because I think they only targeted what BTs 1 through 4 for that, or
1 through.
Or
1 through
four.
5.
Yeah.
I thought it was 1 through 5.
Did they also reprint what's that one yellow option from the starter yellow deck?
Eden's Javelin? No.
No.
I think it was just 1 through 4. I think you're right. I think
The
5. They didn't.
the one Holy Flame.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think-
yeah.
I think they might have didn't they also mention that Holy Flame would be
Holy Flame is the other NA exclusive that we're getting.
Yeah, that's probably the only other one because I mean you can't find the starter decks anymore.
I think
Yeah.
Kaiser Nail or Holy Flame would have been my picks if they weren't already getting reprinted now.
Yeah.
For us, so those are what would have taken that up.
Yeah. Just basically
Trying to see.
like
So then to
Oh,
go
no, I guess,
along.
no,
yeah.
they did do BT5 because Torajo's getting reprinted.
Yeah, that was in there.
Mm,
So there was some BT5 cards. I think Mechanori's getting one too, right? Am I crazy?
is he?
I'm probably crazy. I don't remember. All the hard thing is their list is so fucked.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the website right now.
you can't trust the real website.
I think Siako's getting a reprint, right?
Yeah, Siako's getting a reprint. So yeah, that was
Yeah.
definitely BT5.
Yeah.
I mean, on
they're
that
doing-
vein, right? Like like you said, they did a pretty good job of hitting like a lot of these core cards. Like, do you think? I know we've talked about this probably a couple times now, but set rotation, where we say, you know,
That reminds me. So Japan,
Yeah.
they're experimenting with set rotation and their ulti
read
cups.
my mind. That's where we were going.
Hell yeah. Segways, my guy. I got you.
They jump from 3v3s to set rotation.
Yes.
They jump from 3v3s to set rotations. The 3v3 thing seemed almost buggy in our end with how it kind of came across.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like it was going as intended. I don't feel like Digimon has enough of a crowd at shops, at least here. I can't. There's maybe a few shops. Like I know a shop in Florida that could maybe do it. But
Yeah.
that's about it.
I mean, you'd have like 2 rounds at most shops.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Well, I think there is some merit to people wanting to speed up how long like a locals takes.
Yeah.
that's fine.
I personally don't mind. I like hanging out with all you guys for that like 3 to 4 hours. That's a good time slot for me. I don't mind it, but I can see how it could be very time constraint wise. Listen, if you don't like me, Jarrell, it's fine. Okay, I understand. I get it. I don't like me either. That's fine. So.
No. He was laughing because I was like, my heart. My heart.
I don't think that's what happened there. I thought he just felt pain at what I said. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's it's so because they're experimenting with that in Japan with the set rotation, where I think it's only cards with block numbers 2 through 3, right?
Something like that.
I think so.
Or they have to have block number 1 through. I don't remember. Hold on.
I think it's 1 through 3.
Let me see if I can find it.
Rotation.
I think block number
Blocks 2 and 3.
block two and three.
It's blocks 2 and 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So
1 is
and I think RB01 has it's block set 2, right?
yeah, they're all 2 cards.
They're all the reprints are all block set 2. So it's gonna be because that's block set 2 is anything from what was block set 2? Is it BT6 and forward or no? BT6 was block set 1. I'm crazy. It's BT10 and forward, right?
No, I think it's earlier than that.
7? Maybe?
BT9 is 1. So
That'd be BT10 then.
BT10, I think it was every 5 there. Yeah, BT10 is 2. And the BT15, I think, is going to be
3.
3.
BT15 is 3. Yeah, blocks at 3 looking at it. So it's only going to be cards from BT10 and up, which is interesting because that knocks out a lot of a lot of stuff. X anybody's out of the running.
Yeah. That's
Bye-bye.
everything from the Justmon starters up.
That's crazy. That is, oh man, that's actually insane what that's going to look like over there for Ulti Cups. I'm interested to see how those lists look.
Yeah.
Who's ready for the one Ultra S list?
Well, it definitely means that new X Anybody is going to get used too, which also, you know what, that makes sense why they're printing it now. Because I wonder if that they're thinking about doing that and they want to make sure they have an X Anybody option card available for people to use for those decks.
The problem is it's still like aside from what we got in the X5 for the Guru line, that knocks out a lot of the other X Antibody lines.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that just straight kills Alpha.
Yeah. Alpha just stops working as a deck.
Well, no, because you lose. Well, I mean, aside from Royal
you
Knights,
only lose.
It doesn't stop working. I think it just.
It doesn't stop, but I mean, it loses Oryukin, it loses Cool Boy, and it loses the BT9 Alpha if you still run it. Which a lot of people run BT12 now, and they run like one of the BT9.
You lose Yuji and the other guy, Koda. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you do lose those older cards. True. Oh yeah, never mind. I'm crazy.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So you lose the Dorgray, you lose
Alpha
everything.
is truly dead then.
Yeah, you lose,
Alpha dies then if they do that.
You lose the Dex line too, the Dex Doru.
Yeah,
that's really important.
You lose the whole deck.
Yeah,
you lose
basically.
You lose the whole deck. You only have the BT12, the BT13 line. That's it. That's your Alpha deck now. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, you know what? We're also supposed to get that new Ryuta from Seekers, which I think is supposed to be in BT15 because we're seeing the Elecmon stuff in BT16.
Okay.
So I wonder if they're wanting to like reformat Alpha. I wonder if that's what they're going for.
Maybe just I don't know, trying to rework the X Antibody.
I mean, this is all. Yeah, I think X Antibody as a mechanic definitely needs to get reworked. I think that a good start is giving a card like the new one, that I think feels more balanced because the older one is just the fact that it can't be stripped. You can Digivolve when attacking. It's just so good for any X Anybody deck. I think it reins in the X Anybody powers a little bit, considering how strong they are just off their draw engine alone, and a lot of the effects they get now. So that'll be. I mean, this is all assuming that they actually do a set rotation. I think they will at some point. I think the fact that we're starting to see it in Ulti Cup for BT. For their stuff with BT15 and everything does mean we could probably see a set rotation in the next year. Is my guess.
I
Maybe
think
like this time next year is when we'll see it.
They'll probably see how it goes with JP too.
Yeah, they're gonna test it first. JP's their testing ground, and then they hit us with all their brewed products. Or they try and jib us on reprints. It's one or the other.
Yep.
Yeah.
And promos.
To be seen within the next year or so.
Yeah.
Things will pan out.
Yep.
Another thing to be seen within the next year, BT15.
I love it when he does it. I love it every time.
I was very excited because I saw a new post and leaks discussion. I'm like, oh, new leak, and it was just Shane being like, "Are we gonna get purple reveals?"
He
Not
just
yet.
had purple reveals. He just had the Myotis stuff.
He wants more.
More.
Man,
Also
this man
because-
could get a full set of
also,
purple
that-
reveals, not have enough.
That Myotis, that was so disappointing. Was it the Venom Myotis?
I
Yeah,
expected the Venom Myotis to be
like-
mid because I know that the all the level 6s that have been coming out of BT14 and 15 have been mid if they have an ace card in their line.
Yeah.
That's true.
Admittedly, too, Malomyotis is still a fucking good card.
That's
Malomyotis, I mean, on play, you delete a Digimon and you get to trash the security.
I mean, a level 5.
For Malomyotis?
For
Oh, you're
all-
talking about the Venom. I'm talking about BT8 Mallow.
Yeah,
no,
BT Mallow is pretty damn good.
BT8 Mallow is genuinely still a good card.
Yeah.
The only thing that hinders it is the fact that there's just not enough support under it. I mean, delete unsuspended Digimon, sorry. Oh, and then trash top card your opponent's security stack. Which, it isn't like... It's just as long as you have 5 Myotis Mons in the trash, which is going to be more easy to accomplish now with all the new Myotis stuff. And I think, honestly, while the new Venom isn't good, it works better than the other Myotises we have. Like, if you want to do a Myotis stack, you probably run the 4 Malomyotis
And two
and
of
then like
those other
2 of the
guys.
Venom. Yeah, just for board control. As like something to
having a blocker is decent.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just called K body. Like he's something that you'll be able to play out for free off of the other effects and stuff. So it's not the worst thing in the world. He's not great. But I think the most important thing is just having those Myotis Mon in general. The ace cards,
Yeah.
the Myotis was
The new options from BT15.
the Devimon we have too in BT14
Actually,
will complement that whole really well.
Yeah.
It'll be cool to see what people do with those decks. Because that Devimon just can accelerate Myotis so much, just on play and when attacking, trashing top 3 cards of the deck.
Who are we still waiting on for reveals? So we've seen the BO.
We are
Bio.
waiting on. We've seen Bio, Gabu, Tento. We are waiting on.
Pata?
No.
Oh, we've seen Pata.
We've seen Gato. We've seen Gato as well.
Yeah.
So we've seen the other 4. We've seen all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, we've seen
All
all
the
the
kids. We haven't seen the Metal Garurumon, which we assume is going to be a secret rare, just like the Wargrey was for BT14.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what the Metal Garurumon does. Hopefully, it can serve as a good engine to go up into the new Melga X. I'm excited to see that. We've seen 69 cards out of the new set so far.
Nice.
Nice. The new set's looking pretty. I feel like I am much more underwhelmed by the Pro Tag cards in this set.
Yeah. They're poor God.
I feel like
Why did they hate Gatomon?
yeah, Kari's, Sora's, and Izzy's are all very mid.
I feel like somebody is traumatized by Mastamon and just like, oh,
Yeah.
we can't have a good Gatomon.
No more. No
We're-
more.
Gato stuff is good.
We gotta give it barrier. It's gotta cost like 7 memory. It's gotta suck.
The Wergaruru Ace is good, is okay. A lot of the Ace cards in this one are I don't think the Ace cards in this one are as good as the Ace cards in BT14.
No, they're certainly. I mean, it's certainly not. Like, what was it? Zudomon, Volcamon.
Zudo and Magna Angel alone are fucking crazy.
Actually, insane cards for four cost.
Like the Angelmon's okay. The Garuda's pretty good.
I'm telling you, somebody was traumatized by like Mastamon. They just don't want another.
I will say that I think the Garuda is pretty good. The Phoenix is also. I actually, you know what? I'll take it back. Birds look okay. Biomon is sort of underwhelming. She's not the greatest. She's decent. She works towards the deck's game plan with everything else we have for other BOs, so it's fine. But the Birdramon gets you recycle out of trash. The Garuda just can, when you play a tamer, delete something with blocker, which so many things get blocker nowadays. Like back in the day, it was very mid, but so many decks get blocker inheritables now, or gain blocker on Digivolve.
Well,
Like, for example, that Garudamon can play out and then just delete Metal Guru X.
yeah. I mean, old Metal Guru X, right? And the new one.
Even new one. New one has blocker.
New one has blocker. Oh.
Yeah, he always has blocker keyword. The old one just gains it for until the end of your opponent's turn.
That turn.
So Garudamon can just clear a Melga stack in a heartbeat.
That's pretty sick, and it's on play when Digivolve and play a Red Tamer, so you're pretty much always getting the cost. Yeah.
And you play the Tamer without paying the cost. So it's a 4 memory play to spit out a level 5, a Tamer, and then possibly clear a level 6 or a level 7 stack if they have blocker. As long as they don't have protections, you just do that and pop.
Yeah, and if you lose it, like it paid for itself. So
yeah, right, it's fine.
Right.
EX1 War Greymon stonk's about to go up.
I was about to say.
yeah,
True.
Don't make me do it, and then they reprint that shit, and then I'm just
try.
don't do it. As I look it up,
the
right
Phoenix
now.
Mon is very mid, but that's fine. Really, like with birds, the Phoenix they have from BT11 is good. It just needs more low end support to work with it. Or it's good enough at least for what the deck wants to do.
Just so you guys know,
Zhujiao's cool.
EX1 War Grey alt art is at $8, $7.
Good to
Just
know.
saying.
Good to know. Good to know. Stonks. Stonks. Niders. Stonks. I will say so far the biggest disappointment, I mean we haven't seen Apocalypmon yet, we know he's coming, is the Dark Master cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those have so far been the most disappointing thing to look at because of that weird restriction they decided to put on them where they can only digivolve into a white Digimon.
You're not trying to digivolve your Aegisramon into a Blitz Omni?
You mean your Metal Seedramon?
Your Metal Seedramon?
Like, sure. Okay. You got me, girl. You win.
It's just like a TV
But
show.
no, like, the machine can't use Chaos. The Metal Seedra can't use with Aegis.
Yeah.
The puppet can't be used with like Quartz or any other weird green boys. Then who am I missing?
Piedmon?
Oh, we haven't seen Piedmon yet.
Yeah.
I wonder if Piedmon's gonna be an SR since he was like
He was kind of like the leader, so
The
he might be
leader,
an
yeah.
SR.
I was talking about this in the California server. Aside from the 50,000 Omnimons that we have, the only white level 7s we have are Millenniummon, Chaosmon, and by extension Valder Arm, Armageddonmon, Susanomon, and Paladin mode. That's it.
yeah.
So you digivolve Metal Seedramon into Paladin mode, right?
Admittedly,
What
there
two
is
color are you gonna
ways.
bottom?
Admittedly, there is ways to tuck Metal Seedra and Machine into those stacks.
Yeah.
It just feels bad because like the decks, like there's no harm in giving. I like Fish. Okay, Seedramon is one of my. He's up there with like some of my favorite Digimon. He's not in my top 3, but he's up there.
Yeah.
Okay, I like him. He would probably be up in my top 3 if he saw some goddamn love here and there. But the man's always gets forgotten, so it's hard to love him if people don't remember.
Yeah.
But that would just make Fish like actually have a level 6 that's better than Plesio that can work with the deck decently enough.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And then can just like you could literally spit that out from Aegis and then bounce level 5, which is like so cool. I don't know. It's sad to see. It makes me sad.
That Apocalypmon better spit out like one of each Dark Master, I swear to God.
It better. I will say, I probably will, but I will say, admittedly, too, the if Chaos could utilize the machines when attacking to Digivolve 2 every time it swings, that would be
yeah.
that would be crazy. Can you imagine a Chaos X swinging at you?
Digivolve?
Yeah, Digivolves 2, and then at the end of your opponent's turn, you can attempt to pop itself to then just save itself and just trash someone's security. Because Chaos X's effect.
And then they put that stuff that they threw away back under it.
Yep. Just at the start of the next turn.
Yeah.
So there's some merit to that. I can understand. It just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. I think part of it too is, I mean, maybe with the success of Royal Knights in Japan, they just didn't want to have another Royal Knight style deck. mean, they kind of
Yeah.
they kind of wanted to nerf that play a big thing and then just make it so your opponent has this sense of dread for the rest of the game.
True.
Otherwise,
though, all the BT15 cards have been looking cool. We just saw the.
it definitely feels like they're trying to put less power into this set than they did in the previous one.
It felt the same with BT14. I think though. I think BT14 felt like it was like less power at like a surface level than BT13. I think it's the new because we have the new designer working on everything now, right?
Yeah.
For the new card designer. So I think it seems like they are trying very much to sort of rein in and balance things out. Based off of things Shine Gray withstanding or excluded rather. Everything else in Japan looks pretty balanced in terms of tops.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of variation in the lists. Like here, I brought up East's video. Let me see if I can just pull up the
I think he mentioned, if I'm
results.
thinking about the right video, if we watch the same one, like Shine Gray, obviously, like you said, was like top, but like you had good representation of like everything. Like Melga had like 3 or 4 different builds to it. You had Bloom still doing Bloom things. You had War Gray, obviously. You had, I think Alpha snuck in there. Some people were playing Crossheart. Some people were definitely still playing Hunters. So like a lot of the decks are still standing the test of time.
Off of what I'm looking at here, not including Shine that had 10 plus wins for the week, decks that had 4 to 6 wins were Bloom Lord, Fenriluga, just Greymon decks in general, Melga, Mirage, and Sovereigns. 4 Sovereigns.
That seems pretty healthy.
That's pretty good. That's 6 decks getting 4 to 6 wins, so they're gonna do that. And then you had 2 to 3 win decks, which were Machine, which makes sense, Anubis, Security Control, Leo, BLs, Masty, Jelly, and Leopard X.
I can't wait for Anubis. So excited.
Anubis can be fun. And then the Merva tech is what people are doing, by the way. That is what, at least we said there's like 3 different ways people are doing the decks, but that seems to be the one that's doing the best so far.
Oh, for Melga too.
Merva
3 different builds from Melga.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I'm getting the 3 from. I know he said that. I think he said something about Anubis, but anyways. Then decks that had 1 win, whereas there's sort of Pata Vaccine, Yellow Vaccine, Red Hybrid, Omni Alter S, Blue Flare, the Metal Etta with Numamon, with Sukumon, all that stuff. The D Brigade, BL Star, Millith, Gamma, Hunters, Old Force, Belfie, and Crossheart.
Interesting.
Who the hell is
Like,
playing
it's-
Alter S?
A Chad. Someone who's just built different.
Clearly.
But no, overall, it's like there's a lot of different decks on the list here. Outside of Shine being up top, and I think looking at the cards in BT15, I don't see any of these cards in BT15 being any better or worse than what we're seeing so far.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything better than what's out there currently.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Numamonze stuff, Numamonze poop.
That's right, we forgot. Poop deck will reign supreme.
That Numamon X antibody is actually crazy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Some of the cards,
He's actually kind of nutty.
some of the cards are.
A lot of these cards, the Gigadramon and the Gigadramon not so much, but the Megadramon
The
and the
Mega-
Eggramon all can
The
work with
Megadramon.
Justice.
Dude, the Mega
The Megadramon has me so
Marvin?
excited.
Holy shit, Marvin is
Yeah,
friggin'
Marvin is he's cool. He's sick. Also, his drip, goddamn.
Yeah.
That art looks good, but the Megadramon so good. Good for Machine, good for Justy, good for D Brigade. Like, it is just genuinely a good card across the board.
Puts himself underneath, gives what, like
Marvin, he gives jamming and blocker.
jamming and blocker, and then he spits himself back out.
As long as they have Machine, Cyborg, or SOC trait.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Which, I mean, all of those decks we rattle, or all those archetypes we rattle off, it's gonna work in. So that Megadramon is gonna be really cool. We got the random the Monzimon X Antibody too, which is pretty fucking sick. I love that art too. I love Koki. Koki's art's just so good.
Yeah.
The Garamon that works really well with all their sort of game plan stuff. The other fish support in general, outside of the Dark Master stuff with Metal Seadra, that Seadramon having Rush is amazing for fish. Because everything spits out a Seadramon. So a lot of things want to spit out a Seadramon. So you can easily just spit out that Seadra and it has Rush just inherently. Also, being able to be a level 4 that could potentially give a rookie Rush, like when you Digivolve into it, is huge. We have our first ever our Skull Meramon with an effect, which is cool. So for the eggs seem fine. They seem all right. Just kind of jumping around. The one random Gamamon card with the Bombermon, which is really funny. It is decent. It's not bad. Yeah, it's cool. I'm glad I'm not like looking at anything here and being like, wow, this is incredibly broken. This is the most busted thing ever. I look at things here and I'm just like, oh yeah, all these just seem like good support for their archetypes or for new variants of the deck that will just make them able to just compete in the meta.
Right.
Or they get like a lot of them could just be their own thing, or they could support other decks, which is it's cool. It's cool to see. The new designer honestly has been doing a fire job in my opinion so far.
I agree.
So also the Tyrannomon. I'm so excited for that Tyrannomon to be running Fenriluga.
We've gotten so much variety that's just been great without ever feeling like something skewed in one direction.
Yeah, I agree. Is there anything what are you guys most looking forward to so far out of what we've seen for BT15?
Nothing like crazy is jumping out to me right now. I mean, I want to see, maybe I'm just not reading the power level of the cards, but like maybe the bird deck can work.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it's finally time to build birds because red deck.
You're a red boy.
It's like nothing insane like Harvey said. The only reason like BT14 like jumped out at us is because of all the new ace stuff, and some of the cards in there were actually like super cracked too, like the Agumon, the Patamon. But like for this one, it's like
yeah, they're okay. Like Tento's okay.
There's nothing as flabbergasting as
Gato is pretty mid. Bio's decent.
I feel like these cards are also just going to be good pieces to throw into like existing decks to just like make them a little bit more fun to play. So like that's why I feel like nothing really like stands out as a deck itself. I feel like a lot of the pieces you could just plug them in somewhere and it makes the deck a little bit better.
I guess it's a positive of the new design. It seems like there's a lot less like decks that just exist inside the box itself. Whether or not that's like good for players overall. It's like it doesn't feel like each new set is power creeping a previous set.
I agree, which I think is a good thing. I think it's healthier for the game if we don't have like this constant rush for the new set every time.
New set, new decks.
I do think I agree. I think it almost feels like the designer saw what he did with the rookies of BT4 because he worked on BT13 too, right? I think he's been working on BT13 forward.
Yeah, I think BT14 is like his first like
independent thing.
Yeah.
Which I feel like he worked on BT13 stuff, saw how crazy the power scale can get, and then was like, okay, well let's just try and tone it down a little bit. Toned it down for BT14 and was like, okay, this is still kind of a little nutty. And then it's just like, okay, now I'm reining it in. It feels like he's finding his footing. Which I'm good with. I'm all for. It does. I agree with you. I think Ben, you said it. On just it feels like all these just sort of fit into existing. I feel like they're just pieces to help flesh out their archetypes. or serve as a new line for the archetype to work off of. That just will make the deck work. It's nothing crazy cracked, but it's also not like terrible.
Which is sort of nice in the sense that you kind of keep some of these decks viable.
Yes.
And like people can kind of keep their old, like they don't feel like they will buy the cards for this deck for this like maybe set or two, and then it's like this deck is pretty much non-existent moving forward.
Yeah.
You kind of keep it going at least for a little bit longer, so people feel a little bit more attached to the deck. And I feel like also too, like people can dedicate more time and effort into like piloting it the way they want to, as opposed to like learning like a new mechanic or learning a new deck like every format and then having to reset it after a month and be like, oh, gotta learn this deck again and throw everything else away.
Yeah, having to just toss out all these other older cards just to put in new cards.
Yeah.
Also just realized the Magdramon we got works pretty well with Magdramon X. Fairly well. Yeah, I don't know. That's me. I think Ben, what are you most excited for other than Melga? If you have another thing other than Melga.
I mean, I talked about Anubis. So I'm definitely excited for Anubis. I mean, I like what the yellow pieces do for like Kentaros and just the yellow hybrid sort of package too. Commander or not D Brigade is gonna be fun too when it comes out. So no, I mean I think a lot of things to look forward to on my end, which kind of sucks because I'm starting to run out of storage space. I need to deconstruct a lot of decks here.
Dude, same. It's fucking chaos on
I
the shelf.
literally just bought
really
new
see.
boxes the other day.
It's bad.
I'm about to get onto like my fourth like Gamegenic dungeon just because I'm running out of decks.
Oh my god.
I think for me, I'm excited to sort of touch up Fish with some of the new stuff. I mean, I already I have my case pre-ordered, so like I'm ready to just build all of it. I'm looking forward to the Numemanze stuff. I'm gonna just call it Numanze. That's my name for it. Numanze.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the Numanze stuff. Cause that'll just I love those goofy little poop heads. Both Suka and Numan. It's just gonna be fun to fuck around with those because they're just so interesting in how they play. And having the next antibody line stuff for Numanze is gonna be cool. And then I think the other thing I'm looking forward to the most is probably the Megadramon stuff. Megadramon, Airdramon, like this, and using that in Machine for one, but mostly I want to just experiment with Justy. I want to try and put Justy back on the map a little bit with some of that stuff, which they're all Dramon, so they work with Rio? Rio? Yeah, okay. Marvin Jackson will work in that deck too. Like yeah. I think that is what I'm looking forward to. And then like I'm excited to just mess around with new cards always.
Yeah.
I think Birds is the other thing. I really hope Birds is decent, is good.
Yeah, a lot of things to look forward to for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that kind of wraps up everything that we wanted to talk about just for the sake of time. Probably just cut it there. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of stuff to look forward to in the coming months. We'll definitely have more topics to reach or to touch upon in the future podcast episodes. We've gotten a lot of support recently over the past couple months too, with the channel growing, and I think people tuning into a lot of our match play videos, deck profiles. So thank you to those who've tuned in and given feedback and support too. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for the engagement.
The engagement.
Yeah.
But yeah, be sure to tune out to more content. Let us know what we can do to improve, and let us know what you want to see. We'll see you guys on the next one.
More misplaced.
Thanks for tuning in. More misplaced.
More misplaced.
Coming up tomorrow. Don't worry.
We'll do it. No misplaced tomorrow.
Let's go.
No.